This Minnesota Vikings mock draft has the potential to be the quickest mock draft you've ever seen. They only have 4 picks, guys. They only got 4 picks in this draft, 24, 97, 139, 187. I don't want to discount the importance of those picks because it's a team that's going to compete for the NFC North, could compete for an NFC championship, could compete for a Super Bowl for all I care. So they have to get a couple day one starters in this draft, especially at the corner position. That's priority number 1 for me. I think they could use some D-line help. They don't have another quarterback on the roster right now outside of J.J. McCarthy. They could use some youth infusion at the running back position as well. Aaron Jones is injury prone. Jordan Mason's injury prone. Ty Chandler, you never really know what you're going to get out of him, a younger guy, but also dealt with injuries. They could use an infusion at the running back position to help them long-term. Travion Henderson is a guy I'm looking at depending on where he's available. But this Minnesota Vikings mock draft is not going to be a long one, guys. Every single day leading up to the NFL draft, we're doing a 7-round mock draft. If you don't know already, there's a playlist to the side. You can check it out. Check your favorite team. If your favorite team's not in there, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it when it comes out again. Every day, 5 p.m. Eastern, leading up to the NFL draft, a new 7-round mock draft. If you guys have enjoyed this series so far, make sure you leave a like. But without further ado, let's get into this mock draft. Again, guys, we're going to be user controlling the Minnesota Vikings. We have 4 picks, 24, 97, 139, and 187, and 2 of those aren't even ours. We're going to see if we can try to maneuver a little bit here. If we'd like a player that's on the board first round, it's going to have to be corner, zone-centric corner. We'll pause it here. First 12 picks are off the board. Jihaad Campbell, wow, 10. Interesting, okay. Scrolling down a little bit more. Really no Will Johnson goes off the board at 19, so corners are starting to slide a little bit. We're on the clock here at 24. Looking at who's available, I mean, we got a couple really good players. Malachi Starks could come in and immediately be a safety for us, guys. Ooh, that is enticing. Looking at the safety position right now, we got Harrison Smith, Theo Jackson. We don't really have a ton of depth at the safety position. Do we take our chance here and try to get a safety, let Byron Murphy lean into that nickel spot, and Isaiah Rodgers be the outside guy and sub-package stuff? I don't know. That's very tempting. Malachi Starks here at 9 is very tempting for us. Luther Burden would be another good player to step in right away. Same with Emeka Egbuka, but I don't think we need to go offense right now. I think Malachi Starks, a guy who can do a lot of different things at the safety position in the run game, could really fill the role of Cam Bynum. I think we take Malachi Starks here at 24. We're going to be back on the clock again in 50-something picks, so I'll talk to you guys while we wait again. Quickest mock draft. If you guys have enjoyed this series, I appreciate you watching. We're on the clock in 30 picks. You're looking for either some running back help, quarterback depth, or if we can, an edge rusher, somebody to get after the quarterback. We're back on the clock now. Looking at who's available, I mean, Tate Ratledge is a very good player, but we don't need a guard. We just signed Will Fries this offseason as well as Ryan Kelly to play center. Like, we are good in terms of what we need in the interior of the offensive line. At 97, Devin Neal's a very interesting one. He's a very interesting one, a quicker guy, a more athletic guy. I don't know if we go running back here at 97 when I think there are so many other needs, but this is a very, very fascinating spot to pick. Looking at some of the edge rushers that are available, I mean, there's going to be some guys like Quandarius Robinson that might be there for us at 139. I think we wait on edge rusher, and I think we take the best player on the board right now. I think Devin Neal could come in and offer us a lot at the running back position, but at the end of the day, Kevin O'Connell's going to want to throw the football, and I don't know if anybody's going to come in and immediately step into that offense and truly be the impact guy at the running back position that Kevin O'Connell wants. He hasn't really needed somebody like that really the entire time he's been coaching. So looking at who's available here, I almost think we try to trade down and get an extra pick because the Niners want to move up. The Niners want to leapfrog the Dolphins and the Giants. So what could we get out of the Niners? We could potentially get 147. We could potentially get our 160 back. Maybe we try that. We get 160 back and potentially get an extra pick because we're not really moving. We're not super concerned about moving down 3 spots? Like, we're not super concerned about that. Let's see if this gets accepted. All right, we move down 3 spots and we get an extra pick. So we have another pick in this draft, and Devin Neal is still on the board for us. So they traded up to get Dorian Strong. Interesting. Okay, Devin Neal is still on the board for us. Ooh, that's fascinating. That's very fascinating. That's very, very enticing. Very fascinating, very enticing. Nobody wants to trade up. We got to take the best player on the board here. I think we do it. We're going to take Devin Neal here. We can get some depth at other positions later on in the draft. 139, 160, and 187 for the Minnesota Vikings. Well, we're on the clock in 10 picks here. Again, looking for some type of defensive line depth, maybe a quarterback. I don't know if Kevin O'Connell wants to work with a lefty quarterback, but Dylan Gabriel is on the board. Guys like Quinn Ewers are still on the board as well. I think we probably lean away from corner right now, looking at the edge rushers, who Tyler Barron is still available. This is a guy who can get after the quarterback. Like, you talk about guys who can pin their ears back and truly be that third down guy. That is Tyler Barron. Looking at the measurables, 6'5", 260. This is a guy who's probably not going to step in and be that outside linebacker hybrid type guy, but we know he can get after the quarterback. What's interesting here, though, Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins. Another bigger guy. RJ Oben, a little bit of a lighter guy, a little bit of a shorter guy, but bigger. I am not truthfully liking a lot of these guys right here. And I think the best players available probably could help us at other positions, but we don't really have big needs right now. Like, I'm looking at Dylan Gabriel potentially stepping in and being a backup. I'm looking at Quinn Ewers potentially stepping in and being a backup. Nobody wants to trade up. This is a tough spot right now for the Vikings, to be honest with you. I think we can look at some corner depth. I mean, I don't love it. Denzel Burke is a very good zone corner, though, and that's what we could use in Minnesota. We could use some zone corner help. Will he be there for us at 160? I think he will be, to be honest with you. I think we take our future quarterback, or backup future quarterback, in Quinn Ewers. I think, but there's, This is tough. I honestly think Kyle McCord may fit us better. So I think this is tough. I think we take an edge rusher, to be honest with you. I think we take an edge rusher right now, wait on quarterback, or we just take Denzel Burke right now. I think we probably just take Denzel Burke right now. Don't mess around with the corner position. We'll be on the clock here in, again, 10 picks. We just got this pick from the Niners, and we can get Quinn Ewers. We can get our edge rusher if we really want right now, too. I think Fadil Diggs is another guy you could look at. Johnny Walker. This is tough. I think we take Quinn Ewers right now to help out at the quarterback position. And then at 187, we try to get a guy who can get after the quarterback, looking at who's going. Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins does go, but we have plenty of edge rushers available still. Fadil Diggs is a guy who's 6'5", 261, really can get after the quarterback as well, has played a lot outside the tackle in that wide 9. That is what we want. Ethan Downs has also played a lot outside the tackle, but this is a guy who's a little bigger, 6'4", 265. Elijah Alston, 6'2", 256, more of a speed guy, athletic guy. You can see he's played some snaps off the ball, but primarily outside the tackle. Was great in 2023. This is a guy who could step in and be some depth. I think we go for Fadil Diggs here. We finish off the draft. We'll be waiting for about 60 picks. We'll wait till this goes up. But looking at the needs again, we did a pretty good job here. Obviously, we get cornerback and secondary help. We get an edge defender. We get a quarterback, and we get a running back. We scratched off all the needs while also acquiring an extra pick, which is great. I love that for us. I love the fact that we were able to get an additional pick at 160 by only moving down 3 spots when it really didn't matter to us. I like that for us a lot. And looking back now, we'll be on the clock here in a second. The draft will be over here in a second, We'll see what they give us as a grade. I mean, obviously, these grades don't matter, but overall, draft grade A. Top 31% of NFL Vikings drafts. Quinn Ewers in round 5 is an A-. Devin Neal, round 3. Pick 100, A-. Malachi Starks, an A+. People don't love the Denzel Burke pick. He's going to step in and be his own corner. Then Fadil Diggs, an F. Interesting. Okay, so all over the place with this draft. But looking at what we did in the first round, I think given where we were picking, given who was on the board, Malachi Starks was a great pick for us. I personally like this draft a lot. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Again, tomorrow we will have a Green Bay Packers draft, sticking within the NFC North. But if you guys made it to the end of the video, I appreciate you watching. We will see you in the next video, Green Bay Packers mock draft. God bless.